Paul, you got a video to play, don't you?
I do. I have a video. I have videos.
We have videos today.
So this one is interesting. I think I'm just going to play the video. I think I'm just going to start with the video because it's just it speaks for itself. Here we go.
Yes.
What do you know about the Mexican president?
Okay, well, what I will tell you is that I will visit Mexico in the first 100 years. 100 days.
100 days.
I will visit there.
Are running for president.
Yes.
You would like to be the, Democratic candidate.
Yes.
What do you know about the Mexican president now?
Well, I know that he is elected in the last few years. I don't know him personally. I've met with the ambassador, and I was actually supportive of the trade agreement. So I worked with the embassy on that. They came to meet with me.
And I ask because it's so important, especially Nevada, California, Arizona, Texas. This is our neighbor to the south.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about him? Specifically his politics, what he's doing, since this would be the country you would share a border with? Anything you can tell me about him?
I know that they are neighbors, and regardless of who the leader is, that it is someone that I will work with.
Do you? I'm sorry to ask this, but do you know who he is? Do you know his name?
Yes, yes. I know that he is the Mexican president.
But can you tell me his name?
No. So.
Don't you think it would be important if you're running for president to know who the president of Mexico, the country to the south of the United States, is?
Yes.
Because it affects so many Americans. Mexican Americans are the largest Hispanic, the largest number of Hispanics in the U.S. are Mexican Americans.
Of course it is, yes.
She's like, I learned something new today.
Is there anything specifically you can tell me that you do know about Andrés Manuel López Obrador or what he's doing in Mexico that has a direct effect on all of our border communities?
Well, what I do know is that we have had issues, of course, with asylum and people coming up. I actually visited Mexico under the previous president, and went there and led a delegation there to work on human trafficking. And I met with the Attorney General at the time, and we had a very positive meeting. So I didn't meet with the president; I met with the Attorney General.
Okay.
And then I
lucky there were
also
staplers around.
Finish.
Slapped in the mouth or something.
And I also have been very supportive of the USMCA trade agreement. I've also been very supportive of trying to work on the asylum cases.
All right, that's enough of that.
Okay, all right, wrap it
Yeah,
up.
she's going on with a bunch of non-answer for like, I didn't know the very specific thing that you were talking about, which is a thing that she definitely should know. Now, if you don't know the name of the Mexican president, he did say it there in that clip, but it is a long name. It is not an easy name. I didn't know it. I'm not claiming that I am smarter in every way and more capable, but I'm saying I'm not running for president, and I don't sit on the Subcommittee on Border Security and Immigration, right? If somebody who sits on the Subcommittee for Border Security and Immigration, who is running for president, who is doing an interview with Telemundo, didn't bone up on who the Mexican president was, they're not doing their homework. They're not being diligent with the stated job that they want to hold. Right. That is a problem.
And she didn't even know anything about him. And again, like, I don't know. You guys can tell. I kind of make it obvious on camera, but I'm terrible with names. AMLO is a really easy acronym to remember.
Yeah, a lot of people call him AMLO. Because it's a four-word name, right? It's Andrés Manuel López Obrador.
Obrador, yeah.
So a lot of people call him AMLO,
yeah.
right? And I didn't know much about his politics either. He was elected in December of 2018. He's a sort of socially conservative, fiscally liberal.
Literally the opposite of like the big group we have in the U.S., which is, oh, I am socially liberal, fiscally conservative.
Yeah. Right, but he's a populist lefty. Mostly, I mean, there was a lot of discussion on the Wikipedia page. I mean, this all came from Wikipedia. Because Wikipedia. Apparently, he's waffled a little bit on, so the 2013, they called it denaturalization, which is a different word than privatization, because it sounds like privatization. But he's wanted to renationalize parts of the oil infrastructure, but has been a little vague on how to do that and a little waffly. But he comes across to me as someone who cares about wealth and income inequality, lefty sort of fiscal policies, economic ideas. And, you know, as is true to form with a lot of politics in Mexico, tends to be a little more socially conservative.
Right. So here's the thing. Myself, Paul, and Daniel, we've all been interviewed on different YouTube channels before, and we have a general idea of what to respond to questions, and most importantly, understand what channel we're going to be on. So
also, none of us are running for president.
Yeah, I know it's important, but
none of us on a foreign affairs board of some kind.
Yeah, but there's a bigger issue, and that is, Amy Klobuchar has been really critical of Donald Trump, calling him out. And of course, we hear this from a lot of establishment candidates. They're calling him stupid, that he's out of touch, and all this other stuff. But the thing is, if you are part of a committee where the main thing is border security, you need to understand the leadership and government that is south of your country's border so that you are more professional, more knowledgeable. If you are having a hard time either that saying that you don't know the name or you're forgetting the name, you need to back up a little bit and understand that you're not qualified then for this job, unfortunately. And it's a sad fact with Amy Klobuchar because she's constantly been trying to cover herself up, trying to make herself seem that she's much more knowledgeable to President Donald Trump, making funny jokes here and there, and trying to be more pragmatic.
Something about hair in a blizzard.
Hair in a blizzard. Yeah, I know. We dealt with that in a previous video. And the thing is that Amy Klobuchar, if this is who you are as president, if this is who you are as trying to run to get the nomination, how are you going to debate Donald Trump when he could use this against you? I mean, any ounce of weakness, any slight sign of incompetence, and you're done for as a candidate. And that's a sad fact in American politics, but that's embarrassing.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that in a little more detail. Again, this is, if you can't beat a 5th grader who just studied some trivia when talking about a country directly connected to our southern border, you know what she's going to be really upset about? That staplers are going to come out and everyone's going to have to duck their head? When she learns that the guy who got elected, whose name she didn't know, is a Bernie-crat-ish, equivalent-ish style populist on economic issues. She's not going to be happy about that because she's going to be like, oh, man, he won there. He could win. Yeah, this is... Amy, you had, 0% of the Latino vote? I'm not sure if you can go negative or if it's possible, but I think you just did. Maybe it's in the margin of error. Maybe it's not.
Can you imagine somebody going to a polling booth like, I don't want to vote for someone. I want to vote against someone. How do I do that? How do I register a negative?
Paul, you're a genius. Amy's going after the anti-AMLO vote. That's what it is. I don't know. I don't like this president. I like that she doesn't even know his name.
Right. I dislike him so much. I don't even know his name.
All right. So before we move on to our next story, first, shout out to Cheryl Tyler for the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. It helps us out with our studio. But also a $5 super chat to the previous story, Paul's story, from Nizar G, $5. Not only is Amy Klobuchar not qualified for the job she is running for, she's not even qualified for her current job. Hey, careful, buddy. You might get hit with a stapler, okay? Just a heads up from your friends here at Hard Lens Media.
No,
watch. He actually did duck.
I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this super chat a little differently. Not only is Amy Klobuchar not qualified for the job she's running for, she's not even qualified for her current job.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen.
I would do it. She's not even qualified at all.
Oh, there we go.